Hi, in this tutorial you're going to learn how to set up a Simple Machines forum. Setting up a forum for your membership site is actually quite convenient for your members because it allows you to interact with your members and it allows your members to interact with each other. To get started, first let's go to google.com. Then next, what you'll want to do is type in Simple Machine Forum. When you're forwarded to this page, what you want to do is click on the download link here. And to download it, there are actually several different ways of downloading. You can download SMF, and you can do a full install by creating a database and all that stuff. Or you can do a web install, which is the simple way to get SMF. And it's actually the easiest and the fastest way to install SMF. Now, not all web hosts can do web install, so I'm going to do it the longer way just to show you how to set it up and set up all the databases. So we'll do the full install and we'll click on the zip folder here, and we're going to save it to the disk just like we did to the WordPress blog. SMF is a little bit bigger than WordPress. As you can see, it's about 1 point something megabytes, but it's still fairly quite small. So what we're going to do is find the file that we saved and unzip it. So right now we're looking at the SMF files here, and we can see that there is a readme file, readme.html file. So we're going to go ahead and open that. This is the installation guide. It's actually quite easy. I've gone through it several times, and it says what's required to install SMF. Just lists stuff that you need basically. If you're not too sure if you have this or not, you can always check with your web host. Most people have PHP and MySQL and Apache generally. So the first thing, it says uploading files. The first thing you need to do is upload all of the files from the packet to your website. So previously with WordPress, we actually had to edit a certain file. In this case, all you have to do is upload all the files to a specific folder on your website, and then we can create the database later on. So I'm going to use the same method here that we used to upload the files here. So I'm just going to highlight everything, and you can either upload the same zip file if you like to, but I'm just going to compress it into a separate zip file. And once that is complete, I'm going to copy the address so that I don't have to think of where that zip file is located, and then I'm going to upload the zip file to a folder on my server. I'm going to name it /SMF test. So if I go ahead and upload all that, so now that that is done, I'm going to click on the file and unzip it or extract it, and I'm going to extract it to the SMF test folder. Click extract, and cPanel will automatically extract all the files, as you can see. So now that we've uploaded all the files, SMF tells us to point your browser to yourdomain.com/forum/install, but in this case it is /SMF test, but it can be /forum if you like to. If I go to there, it's actually here, and then it wants us to go to the install.php file. I'm going to do install.php. I'm going to copy that, go to the browser, go to that page, and we can see that here. So basically the purpose of this form right here is that you're going to enter your username and password for your FTP information, and then what SMF is going to do is it's going to log into through FTP, and it's going to install the program, and it's going to write these files right here. If it can't, you're going to have to do it manually. So let's go ahead and do that. If you're successful, SMF is going to take you to the next step. So we'll enter our forum name. It's going to be called WordPress Training Forum. And I'll just leave all these by default. So after you have entered your form name, your form URL, and information like that, you're going to need to create a MySQL database. So to do that, you're going to go back to your cPanel, go to MySQL databases, create a new database. In this case, we're just going to call it SMF test. Make sure you write it somewhere so that you know it later. So we've got the username, create the database, go create the user, SMF, and there's 7 characters that are max. I'm just going to user, it is that, and the password can be something random. Once that's done, remember the third step, you're going to need to connect the two. So you're going to need to find that SMF and the SMF test. So as we can see that's correct, we're going to click on submit. Give them all privileges, make changes, and then you're going to want to copy and save this information because the DB is going to be Stevenage underscore with that. Once you're done with that, we're going to enter that information into the SMF installer. So the database was this. The username was this, and the password was this. Once that's done, you simply need to click on proceed. If all is successful, you're going to see this thing right here, and you can create an account. So in this case, we can do something like SMF test. And in real life, you're not just going to name everything the same as your database, but you know, this is just a test, so we'll do the same thing. So SMF test for password, email address, so we can enter something. And it says here, MySQL database password. The installer requires that you supply the database password to create an administrative account for security reasons. So in this case, we're going to use the password for that database and enter it here. Click on finish. Your username, password, main account. And it's good to keep your username and password somewhere so that you can go back to it. So it says, congratulations, the installation process is complete. Click here to delete the install.php file now, which is important so that someone else can't go in and try to install on your system. So it's always good to delete that install.php file. So once that's done, it says now you can see your newly installed forum and begin to use it. So if you click here, you're going to see your newly installed forum. So as you can see, this SMF forum looks quite nice. And you can log in as your administrator here, and you can start adding things. You can add topics, boards, boards, posts, and topics. Currently, this is located. We have our blog and we have our forum. We need to know the links that link to these different sites. So our forum is this, and our blog is located here. Keeping that in mind, we're going to actually add these to our welcome pages later on. So if we actually want to do that, we can go back to the file manager view. We'll put this aside a little bit. We'll minimize this, close this out. So remember that the links for accessing the blog was on our welcome page. So that was the index.html page. So what you want to do is you want to right click and open with NVU. And basically what we want to do is link those two links right here. So now that we're back here, we can delete these links. And what we're going to do is for the blog, highlight that, copy that, highlight access the blog, click on the link, and right click and paste that here. And another thing you want to do is probably link it. You want to open it in a new window so everybody stays on your welcome page. And do the same thing for the forums. Link it, press OK, and when you're done with that, click on save, of course, and then we're going to exit out of that. The remaining thing is to access your affiliate link, but we need to set up the Amember script before we can actually do that. So we're going to close this out, and that's the end of this tutorial. So now you know how to set up a WordPress blog and a SMF forum.